I came home one morning and found something that made absolutely no sense. The HOA had started building a giant playground beside my bison pasture. They had placed it directly against a fence that kept the animals contained. And nobody had asked me for permission. I walked over and asked the workers who had approved the project. They told me the HOA had purchased the playground equipment for the neighborhood. I pointed toward my fence and explained why the location was dangerous. They simply told me the HOA president had already approved everything. A few minutes later, Linda showed up with a clipboard and a smile. She told me the playground would be the centerpiece of the neighborhood. I asked her why she had built it beside a livestock fence. Her answer was simple: because this was the perfect location. I explained that bison were powerful, unpredictable animals. The fence was designed to keep them separated from people and equipment. A playground full of children beside that fence was a terrible idea. Linda told me I was being dramatic. Then Linda made an even bigger claim. She said the HOA had every right to use the land beside my fence. I opened my property records and showed her the actual boundary. The playground was being built dangerously close to land she didn't control. My survey showed exactly where my property ended. The HOA had apparently relied on an outdated neighborhood map. But instead of stopping construction, Linda told everyone to keep working. That was when I decided to contact the county. Despite everything, the HOA announced a grand opening for Saturday. They decorated the playground with balloons and set up dozens of chairs. Linda acted like the entire project was already a huge success. She had no idea the county had started reviewing the situation. Just before the ceremony began, a county safety official arrived. She walked directly toward the playground entrance and asked for the permits. Linda's confident smile disappeared almost instantly. The county had serious questions about the location and safety approvals. The county official inspected the site and made her decision. The playground could not open until the safety and property issues were resolved. She placed a closure barrier across the entrance. The grand opening was officially stopped before a single child entered. The crowd that had come to celebrate suddenly went completely quiet. Everyone could see the playground was officially closed. Linda had promised the neighborhood a grand opening that afternoon. Instead, the county had shut the entire project down. The county inspector finally arrived and asked for the playground permits. The HOA president proudly handed over a folder, expecting praise. Instead, the inspector's expression changed as he read the property records. He ordered everyone to stop construction immediately. The map showed the playground was built right against my private boundary. Worse, part of the construction crossed onto my land. The HOA president insisted their survey was correct. The county inspector simply told her, "Your survey is wrong." The survey crew returned the next morning with professional equipment. They measured every corner of the playground property. Within an hour, bright boundary stakes surrounded the construction site, and several of those stakes stood inside my ranch. Karen screamed that the HOA owned the entire area. I told her ownership was not something she could simply declare. The county official opened the deed and pointed to the legal boundary. Her face went completely pale. By noon, the county had officially shut the playground down. Every entrance was blocked with warning barriers. The grand opening celebration was canceled before it even started. Karen still refused to believe the problem was her own paperwork. The hearing revealed something even worse for the HOA. They had never received permission to build on my parcel. Their board had approved the project using an outdated map. They had spent thousands of dollars building on land they did not own. The playground sat abandoned behind the county barricades. The HOA board started blaming Karen for the entire disaster. She blamed the survey company, the contractors, and even me, but none of them could change what the deed clearly said. Then Karen demanded that I let the HOA keep the playground. I refused because the land was legally mine. The county attorney confirmed that they had two choices: remove everything or negotiate a lawful property agreement. A week later, the HOA finally began tearing the playground down. Every swing, slide, platform, and fence had to be removed. They had spent a fortune building it, and even more taking it apart, all because nobody bothered to check the deed. In the end, my land was returned exactly as it had been. The HOA lost the playground, the money, and its credibility. Karen finally learned that a private deed beats an HOA vote every time. And the Bison? They got their fence back.